What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the live stream. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to all of you guys. Hopefully, everything has been going great for all of you. Let me know what your scent of the day is in the chat today. We got a lot of fragrances to talk about today because we're going to be talking about some of the new and upcomers here in late 2024, early 2025. Again, I'm Fragrance Dude, Randy, if you haven't seen my channel. And today, my scent of the day is called Autumn Rhythm by Chris Collins. If you haven't tried out this brand, I'm telling you, Chris Collins is one of the best indie brands. I don't know if it's indie or niche, but it's one of the best kind of like little known houses out there. Very high quality. They have a plethora of different styles of fragrance, kind of like Mind Games, how they have like something for every season. They have something that's kind of very monotone, but then they have other ones that are kind of crazy, out of this like unique. While this one, Autumn Rhythm, is a lot more wearable. It's similar to like a less sweet version of Replica Jazz Club. Um, it's woody, semi-sweet. It is spiced, very nice, has a little bit of freshness to it, but it's a perfect cold weather fragrance, night out, definitely gentlemanly for sure. But again, yeah, let me know what your scent of the day is. I was holding the live stream off about a minute or two because I wanted to see when Ross from TLTG was finishing his live stream. But I just got some really cool information about a bunch of new fragrances that are going to be coming out. So not only are we going to be talking about the Dior Homme 2025, Gentleman Society Ombre, Kenzo Homme Indigo, Bosta Collection Exhilarating Vanilla, Fearless Pepper, Wild Violet, Soleil Neige Parfum. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fragrances that you guys don't know are coming out that I'm going to be telling you today. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me get here into the chat. Just let me know that you can see and hear me so that we can get this ball rolling. But let me go all the way to the top. What's going on, Mike? Evening, Randy Dude. Just left Ross's live. Scent of the day is Boss Bottled EDP. One of the best fragrances. If you're talking about the Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum Intense, that's one of the best fragrances out there. If you're just talking about the EDP, it's a really good fragrance as well, because I know there's that Boss Bottled EDP that's kind of like the blue one. It's more of like a blue fragrance. And then you have the Boss Bottled EDP Intense, which is probably their best fragrance ever. It's the original Boss Bottled DNA, just warmer, a little bit sweeter, and a little bit more masculine as well. Has a bit more spice. Still has that plum, sandalwood, and then that apple pie accord, obviously. But hopefully your head doesn't hurt from the Zahara bottle last month. It does not. I did have a welt on my head for quite a while. If you guys missed that live stream, 2 of the Zaharoff bottles that I have above my head, Seraphim Red, and I don't know why it matters what they were, but Seraphim Red and Halfeti Black Rose, kind of in sequence. They hit me in the top of the head. They fell off my shelf because my display broke. But yeah, hit that like on the way in. What's going on, Newt? How you doing? And scent of the day is Atelier d'Or Rouge Soleil. Oh, that was the one that Hamzat was talking about. What is that about, Newt? I didn't look up the notes, but you guys were saying that it was a really good price. I know I have the Atelier d'Or Lune Feline Extrait. That one's a really good fragrance. If you guys haven't tried Lune Feline Extrait, that's a really good one as well. What's going on, Giancarlo Burton? How you doing, man? Giancarlo. Scent of the day is Lattafa. Yeah, I saw that one. I saw you were talking to Ross. I also have never seen that fragrance before, but very interesting. Probably have to give it a shot at some point in time. Fragrance. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Scent of the night is Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme. Well, that's another one we're going to be talking about, not the Extreme, which I actually think that Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme is the number 1 or number 2 designer release of 2024. You guys can fight me on that, but they went from this, and I remember whenever the Society Extreme was released, I was getting a bunch of random people from Europe saying, all it does, it's just smells like the original Society with like an old little bit of old coffee. Well, I got that fragrance in, and I can tell you, it is freaking amazing. So what they did was they took the original Society DNA, a little bit of the iris, a little bit of the vanilla woods, just crammed that all together, the Palo Santo, and they made it smoother. They made it almost feel a little bit more natural as far as like the woods and stuff like that. They made it just the whole blend together is better. And then you added just a little bit more depth, a little bit of a resinous vibe, as well as this nice coffee. And the coffee that blends into it isn't too strong, but it doesn't smell like old coffee. It smells like really nice roasted coffee. So they did a really good job with that. And now we're going to be getting into Gentleman Society Ombre, which I don't know anything about it, but I do know the note breakdown that I just looked up. So I'll talk to you guys about that. I'll be reading it off to you before I actually know. Like I wrote it down, but I don't remember what I wrote down. So yeah. What's going on, Aussie Fragrance? Scent of the day is Fall of Phaeton. Got a bottle of the Old Musk Ravageur coming in the awesome. That's awesome. And Fall of Phaeton, I believe that's the one that I haven't tried. My favorite from the house is Triumph of Bacchus, but they also have like a base of rose and Argus fragrances. And you guys know I can't do rose. My wife's allergic, so I try to stay away from the rose heavy ones. And I'm pretty sure Fall of Phaeton was one of the ones that had the rose in it. But correct me if I'm wrong. Is this where the party's at, Blaine? I guess it is for now. 23 people. I mean, if you want to have a party with 23 people, we're getting it started. What's going on, Jason? Scent of the day is Central Obsession Cigar King. Nice. Blend of red tobacco and Aventus cologne. Were you the one that was asking Ross about the Dior Homme Parfum? The reason that I think you were. He was asking about getting in the new Dior Homme Parfum 2025. Well, I've heard some things about it, and the things I've heard about it, they interest me. But for the people who like Dior Homme Parfum, they're probably going to be let down. I'll tell you guys about that in a second once I get to the bottom. But shouting out some people, nice. Best party ever. Especially when you're on there, Mike. What's up, Traffic? How you doing, bud? Hopefully you're having a good night. And everybody, hopefully you guys are having a great holiday. Who's that guy? That's me. He's done. Yeah, he's done, Kyler. What's going on, man? Congratulations. You, if anybody was deserving of the business over pleasure, which I'm sad that you won it, but I'm sad if anybody won it. And I don't like entering, like, I've always told my moderators, I don't like when other reviewers enter giveaways, but business over pleasure is like one of my favorite fragrances, and I'm just about out of it. It's like $500, and I was like, if there was one giveaway, I told Ross this like months ago, if there was one giveaway I would ever enter, it's business over pleasure. And then he does a business over pleasure giveaway. So I'm glad that you won it. If anybody else was more deserving, it was you, man. Aloha, what's going on, man? Aloha and hello. All right. Saying hi. I'm just trying to sort through the comments because I know a lot of you guys say what's going on. Hit the like button. Welcome to Moe's. Yes, I'm talking to you. Scent of the day is the most wanted EDP. Blaine, you're smelling really good today. My wife would absolutely love how you're smelling. It's one of my favorite designer fragrances, and I don't care what anybody says. I've always loved the most wanted. Did it just cut for anybody else? I don't know. Can somebody tell me, did it cut out? Doesn't look like it cut out. Maybe it did for a second. Sorry. But it looks like we're good. Happy holidays to you if it clicks on it. Happy holidays to you as well, Sam. Hopefully you're doing well. So I actually got pretty lucky. So I was away for the holidays for about a week and a half. And I was down with family and stuff. And I came back and I was supposed to work 2 days in a row, but I work for a hospital chain and they let us take off work for 2 more days. So I ended up getting a 5-day weekend, and then I work tomorrow and then I'm off the next day. So it's been a nice break. And I should have been doing videos, but honestly, I didn't want to. And sorry about that, but I just haven't been in the mood to do videos, and I'm getting back to it now. And I keep saying that, but this December has just been crazy. So, but I was just having such a good holiday, I didn't want to. Randy got some sauce. Yeah, always got some sauce. Can hear you and see you. Thank you, Ozzy. What's going on, Gian? How you doing, man? Scent of the day is Armoff Odyssey Homme Black. That's one of the Odysseys I did not try. I do like a few of the Odysseys. Armoff sent me a bunch of fragrances, and then they just completely forgot that I existed for a long time. But they sent me a few of the Odysseys, and they're actually pretty nice. But just like Ross said, the clones don't match up to the originals. Rouge, there we go. Rouge Soleil's chocolate, dates, plums, cinnamon, amber. You're speaking my language. Great night. Oh, that's one that I'm gonna. I mean, Atelier des Eaux, the other one that I have, Lune Feline Extrait. It's just undeniably good, and so I'm gonna have to just blind buy that. Rouge Soleil sounds good. What's going on, AS? Hey, man, you made it for an actual live stream. Usually you're right before the live stream. Scent of the day is Kajal Lamar, nice pineapple and jammy rose. Hit that like. Yeah, please, everybody, hit that like. Takes 2 seconds. Scent of the day is Dunhill Moroccan Amber, and scent of the night is Carter Barcelona Amber Del Sur. You got some interesting fragrances going. What's going on, Sally? How you doing, man? Happy holidays to you as well. Phaeton is a heavy sandalwood, but some of the others definitely floral backbone. Okay, so Phaeton is the one that I did not try, so I'll have to give that a try because I actually really like sandalwood. If you like sandalwood, Ozzy, you should try Versace and Atelier Santal Boisé. It's by Versace, but it's in their Atelier line. It's called Santal Boisé. It's the best sandalwood fragrance of all time. No joke. Happy holidays to you as well, Luke. I have candy in my mouth, so if you hear me clacking, it's because of that. Doing good, hopefully smelling good too. Always smelling good. Everybody in the chat smelling good. I'm wearing Autumn Rhythm by Chris Collins. It's a house that I did a live stream on, and I was super psyched to try out all the fragrances. One of my moderators or somebody sent me introductory kit to the Chris Collins house, and I can tell you, I just got back to them, and almost every single one of them is great. Like there's an oud one, really, really good. One of the best ouds I've smelled, but yeah. Sally is wearing Nishani's Ombre Calabria. That's a good one. That's a good one. Smelling good during this holiday season. What's up, Sam? Black Phantom by Killian. It's a really good one as well. There's one by Killian that I really want them to bring back. I can't remember what it's called. It has plum in it, rum, and I can't remember. Somebody was showing me the notes, and I was like, man, I wish I was around when that was out. I like Dior Homme Intense and Parfum. I'll probably go ahead and get it. If it's a stronger Dior Homme Intense, like I've heard, it probably will. But I've also heard other mixed reviews. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you smell from it. But the official release date, so I found this out today, Dior Homme Parfum 2025. The official release date is January 1st. And it will be in the United States, at least for the opening period. Stronger With You, absolutely. Is not the new one. Stronger With You absolutely is getting its official release in the United States as well on January 1st. Apparently it's already in Utah, but I did see it in one of my Ulta stores, but I found out today from Jeff from SoCal Sense that on January 1st, Stronger With You absolutely will be available in the United States for everybody. If you're looking in your stores or you want to smell it, it will be available in most retailers. Trying to click on Patrick's. There we go. What's up, Patrick? Happy New Year to you as well. Did you see the new Kenzo Homme Flanker Indigo? It's going to be on this. I'm going to be looking over all of them in just a second, but that is one of them. Hold on. What's going on, Blake? Happy New Year. Scent of the day is Tom Ford Bois Pacifique. I've heard mixed reviews on that because that is a re-release of Bois Moroccan. Their old fragrance, and that one I did not like. I did not like Bois Moroccan, and Josh told me that he got it in, and he said it's basically the same thing. And so if that's the case, I probably won't like it, and I saw that it didn't get the best reviews, but I have heard some people do really like it. I am hoping, since you have it, that you're one of those people. What's going on, Kevin from Lakeland, Florida? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day as well. And we are at the bottom. All right. So we're just going to start out with the news that you guys don't know about. And, well, the one you will know about because Ross just said it, but it is Phantom Elixir is coming out by, what's that, Pocket Rabanne? Yeah, Paco Rabanne's Phantom Elixir. I didn't like the original Phantom. Phantom Eau de Parfum Intense, I believe, was okay. Phantom Elixir Parfum was not that good. And then now they're doing Phantom Elixir. I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. But here are the ones that you guys don't know. We are getting a new Azzaro. There is no name for it yet, but it is an all gold bottle. We are getting a new and this little birdie that told me all of this is Jeff from SoCal Sense. He found it out from, so shout out to him. He found it out from somebody at Dillard's that they are getting it in the month of January, February in that time frame. So we're getting an all gold Azzaro. We're getting an all pink Valentino for guys. We're getting a new Ralph Lauren's Polo 67. It is Polo 67 Eau de Parfum. And we are also getting 3 new Mind Games fragrances. There is no name for any of them. There's no name for the Valentino or the Mind Games that has been released to the public. The only one that I know is Polo 67 Eau de Parfum. But Mind Games is releasing 3 new fragrances. Again, we're getting the Paco Rabanne Phantom Elixir, an all gold bottle Azzaro. Me and my moderators were trying to think of what it could be. It could be like Wanted Gold, could be Wanted Parfum, could be Most Wanted Gold. We don't know. But and then an all pink Valentino. They've always used pink and that kind of color in their bottles anyway. But that is what we are going to be getting. That I don't know any of the notes for. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up so you know. But within the next month or so, we will be having the Stronger With You Absolutely in Parfum arriving in stores. The Dior Homme Parfum 2025 arriving in stores on the 1st. And then you're going to be getting, at some point in time in that month and a half period, Azzaro, Valentino, 3 Mind Games, Polo 67 EDP, and Phantom Elixir. And it's actually pretty funny because my Polo 67, while I like it a lot, I don't wear it that much because I have other fragrances in the same realm. So I literally just gave it to my nephew last night. So I can't even use it as like a prop for my Polo 67 Eau de Parfum video when I get it in. But with that said, it doesn't matter. I'm definitely getting Stronger With You Parfum. Yeah, I'll get it as well. You can already buy it from Dior for 180 for the 2.5 and 160 for the 1.7. Yeah, I saw that too, Sally. I'm not going to buy it right off the rip. We might as well just start with it. So Dior Homme 2025. We already know. I posted the notes. You guys probably already know a lot about it. Woody, earthy, amber, iris. And the notes are top note is iris, mid note is amber, base note is petroleum vetiver. Very vague. Probably still going to have their base, maybe a little bit of leather, a little bit of rose, but who knows? It's perfumed by Francis Kirkjohn, and I have heard from about 10 to 15 different people, and about 10 of them are very close to me that have tried it, and all of them have said this fragrance does not remind you of the Parfum at all. It is, if anything, it is closer to the Gentleman Society or the Gentleman line, or the Valentino Uomo line, or Dior Homme Intense. It's a little bit more resinous. If it is Dior Homme Intense, which they said it's actually closer to that Gentleman, it's a little bit more resinous, and that's the only information that I really got that is really the same across the board, is that it smells like everything else that has to do with designer iris other than Dior Homme Parfum. So, I mean, it's probably going to be good. I'm going to try it. I'll probably end up buying it. Will I buy it now? No, because I want to make sure it doesn't smell like Dior Homme Parfum, because you guys know if you've been following my channel, I love Dior Homme Intense. I don't like Dior Homme Parfum. I don't hate it. It's just not something that I would choose. It's a little bit too on that lipsticky iris for me. So, with that said, I know a lot of people have it as one of their favorite fragrances. It's good. It's just I prefer Dior Homme Intense. So if it does smell like that, then I'll end up buying the bottle. The bottle looks cool. It's just iris has never been one of my favorite things, so I'm not going to like go out of my way to get it before I try it on the 1st. If it's going to be in stores on the 1st, I might as well just wait 3 days. What's going on, Sandy? Good evening again, guys. Yeah, just saw you like 10 minutes ago. Happy New Year in advance to you as well. Scent of the Day's Boss Bottled Absolute, probably my favorite designer release 2024. I heard that. I like it, and it's just a little bit too strong for me. So I know a lot of people like it, but I've also heard a lot of people that are on the same side as me where it has this redundancy issue to the elixir and that they like the elixir better. And so that's the way I look at it, is that Absolute is good. It's a little bit too strong for my liking. Even though elixir is strong, it's not as strong as Absolute. I actually prefer the Elixir and Triumph Elixir over Absolute, but it's still a good fragrance. I just wouldn't buy it personally. With that said, I know a lot of people love it. It's just, it wasn't something, I need to try it more and give it full wearing, but it wasn't, when I first sprayed it, it was so strong. I sprayed one spray in my hand in Sephora, and I walked out, and my wife said, "Can you please wash that off? That is way too strong." And I agreed with her. Not that it smelled bad. And I even said to her, "It doesn't smell bad. It smells good. It's just way too strong." And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of really strong fragrances. If I had to dumb it down for Dior and Parfum 2025, it's a mix of Dior Homme Intense with Gentleman Society's Vetiver Woods and Vanilla. There you go. So, I mean, he's tried it. Mo's tried it. I think he went to Dillard's or he went to somewhere in his area. So that's one person that I've talked to among the other 10. The Azzaro's is called, is this, yeah, bro? Are you sure it's called Forever Wanted? Are you like 100% sure? Or is that just clickbait? Because I honestly don't know. So you could be right. Heard the new edition of Dior Homme Parfum is pretty drastically different. Should ruffle some feathers of the traditional. Yeah. Patrick, I've heard from a lot of people it smells like Dior Homme Intense mixed with a couple other things. That's what I've heard from like literally everybody I've talked to. And the people I've talked to, I trust as much as I trust Mo. And so, I mean, Mo's been my moderator since almost day one. Got a lot of fragrances, so I do trust that. Yeah, bro equals SoCal Sense? No. No. SoCal Sense is SoCal Sense. You're not going to see him under a different name. I don't know who Yeah Bro is. Probably going to be called Azzaro the least wanted. I gotta say, they really had me when they had 3 bangers in a row with Wanted by Night, Most Wanted, and Most Wanted Parfum. Then they did the Wanted Eau de Parfum, which was like, eh. Then they did Most Wanted Eau de Toilette, and I was like, that's good. So I hope that they get back to that. They do better with warm or cooler weather scents, and if they're releasing it in the middle of winter, I hope it's a cool weather scent because they do better with cool weather scents. Always have and always will. So, I mean, they do have a couple other ones that are in other lines that are good for the like spring and summer, but I can say that as far as the Wanted line, they got to stick with the cool weather scents. Polo 67 EDP has my intrigue. Yeah, it's a really good fragrance. I mean, it might be basic, but I don't care. It smells really good for a basic fragrance. It's like a sporty version of Ross Club. I like Mind Games Gardez. If you never hear anything about that one. My favorite, I can't remember from Mind Games. I know a lot of people like French Defense. I find that one okay. I know Ross is really, really down with that one. I still think that Tom Ford's Cherry Smoke blows it out of the water. But with that said, that's just my opinion. My wife likes Cherry Smoke. She said French Defense smells too feminine. Um, there was, I think it was Del Mar or something like that. That was my favorite. I did a whole breakdown. I didn't buy any of them, but I still have like 10 milliliter decants of the whole line over there. I just can't remember. Oh, no, it's not that one. It's the one that smells like a key lime pie. I can't remember the damn name right now. I don't know why. That's why I can't remember. Polo 67 is nice. Got a 200 milliliter. That's a really good price. That's a really, really good price. I don't know what you're going to do with 200 milliliters of it, but it's a good price. Azzaro no longer wanted. Seriously, that line, unless they go back to cool weather stuff, I don't think they should make anything else. Polo 67 EDP, I better hold off from buying the EDT. Yeah, the EDP is on its way. And my guess is that Polo will send me it because the last 3 Polo releases they sent to me randomly. They just get like a random person just to contact me and say, hey, you want this? So them and Burberry are the only 2 actual designer brands that ever contact me. So I might just wait and see if they contact me. But, I mean, it's going to be inexpensive pretty soon anyway. New Azzaro sounds interesting. Polo 67 EDP sounds like it's going to be a boring flanker with some added vanilla. Hope I'm wrong, though. I have no idea. There's no information on it. Hopefully, they add something like leather. Oh, speaking of, I'm adjusting my hoodie. I know you guys hate the fact, not hate, but I have a lot of Lacoste stuff now. Well, my wife got me a Lacoste hoodie. The only thing that I didn't have was a Lacoste hoodie. So I got a Lacoste hoodie now, and it's really nice. With that said, if you guys are interested in the NFL and you're looking into designer clothing, I just got 3 articles of clothing from Boss. Speaking of Boss, they just announced and released a limited edition sportswear collection that has whatever NFL team that you're interested in. And they have crew neck sweaters, hoodies, matching joggers, stuff like that. And so I got Steelers emblem hoodie, and then right below it in all black it says Boss, and it's supposed to be like really really comfortable. I got the matching joggers for that, and then I got a crew neck sweater Steelers with the Boss. I said dude with the Boss logo underneath it. It was posted on TikTok. Can't believe the people on TikTok though. Last year there was 3 or 4 people that released just rumors about the names, and they were wrong on all 3 of the ones that I checked. So I mean, it could be right, could be not. Who knows? Uh, can I have a wrench for 2025 as a New Year gift? Yeah, Joel. If you remind me when I'm not remind me when we're in Ross's live stream, because I don't know how to do it here. I would have to have my daughter's iPad with me while I'm doing my live. But if you remind me during Ross's live stream, I will definitely give you a wrench. And I know you were joking and saying it like that, but yeah, I was planning on giving you a wrench anyway. So, yeah. Joel, only if you admit Vancouver is the best Canadian city. Montreal is like the best Canadian city. If you're talking about going and having a good time, that's Montreal. I've been to Vancouver. Vancouver's the nicest. Um, the best to visit when it's not the winter is Winnipeg. I really like that city, but if you're in the winter, you're dead probably. But Toronto's really nice, but kind of crummy. Edmonton's nice, kind of like Vancouver a little bit, just a little bit more like older. Um, but Montreal's the best city to visit if you don't live in Canada. If you live in Canada, I would say probably Vancouver would be the nicest to live in my opinion. I wonder if the Gold Azzaro would be the most wanted leather. I doubt it. They'd probably be black or something like that, but that would be nice. If they added leather to the most wanted and that's all they did, that would be great. Why not? Or even add like something like cherry. If you add cherry to the most wanted, like if you add just one thing to the most wanted, whether it's cherry, leather, Akigala wood, whatever it might be, you could really just run with that for 5, 6 years and just be like, all right, we're adding cherry this year, we're adding plum this year, we're adding leather this year. You could go along with it, and people would buy the hell out of it. They just choose not to, and they're going the wrong way with it. I thought Polo 67 smelled nice, but just like Legend Blue, so much more, and bought that instead. They're 2 different styles of fragrance. One is more of your blue minty fragrance. That's kind of like the Percivals of the world, where it's an everyday wear. But then you have Polo 67, which is a more sporty fragrance. It's more for like out of the shower, going to the gym, playing sports. More of your bubblegum style fragrance, if you know what I mean. Bubblegum aromatic. So I think they're 2 different styles, and I think they can be worn in different situations. What do you think about Stronger With You Oud? The fuck is it? It's one of my favorites. I think it's my number 2 in the line. Stronger With You Oud. It smells like if you took Stronger With You Intensely and you dialed down the vanilla a ton, and then you just added some designer oud. So it doesn't smell like your like high quality $500, $400 bottle niche oud. It doesn't smell like that. It smells like your designer oud, but the way that they blend it in, it's kind of just like a woody version of like a darker woody version of Stronger With You Intensely if you dial down the vanilla. And so that's why I really like it, because Strong With You Intensely gives me a headache. So just picture that if you just added in woods and dialed down the vanilla a bit. It has a little bit of that chestnut in there as well. It's really good. Stoked for the new one in Valentino. I tried the Gucci Guilty Love edition today. So did Jeff. Surprisingly different than the other Guilties. He said that he smelled it, but he was going anosmic at that point in time. I've heard people say that it smells very similar to the something else, but like in the line. But I've never liked Gucci Guilty anything, so I never hated them. I just think that they're the most boring line in fragrance. But with that said, I'll still try it when I get out. I just haven't been anywhere. I've been either working somewhere else or hanging out at my house. I haven't been out shopping for fragrances. They opened up a Von Mar in my mall, and so I checked that out. But they only had a few things that nothing was new though. Let's get to the next one before I get to the rest of the chat. The next one is Givenchy Gentleman Society Ombre. So I would pull up the photos and stuff like that, but you guys have already seen them. It looks like a Givenchy Gentleman Society. I have it somewhere. There it is. There's the original Society, and then Society Extreme just is the same. It just says Society Extreme down there, or Extreme down there. Palo Santo, stuff like a little bit of vanilla, some iris. It literally smells like the mix of the Givenchy Gentleman line. If you just added a bit more vanilla, made it a little bit more wearable for a younger crowd. That's the way that I look at it, and I really like this fragrance. And I liked it a lot when it first came out. I didn't think it was one of the best of the year, but then Society Extreme came out. Love that. Just talked about it a second ago. The coffee, all of that. Well, this one is advertised as a woody floral amber fragrance. It's Givenchy Gentleman Society Ombre. It's Ambree. And the notes, there's no actual top mid notes or anything like that. But again, it's a woody floral amber fragrance. It's advertised as amber balsamic tobacco woody vanilla leather fragrance with notes of Madagascar vanilla, Madagascar vetiver, French narcissus, Peru balsam, leather, vetiver, tobacco, and amber. I think they're gonna fucking kill it with this fragrance. They went from number one state. It's like level one. This one, level two, and then they went to this freaking great fragrance. That's probably my favorite designer release of 2024, if not number two, with the Society Extreme Intense, whatever the fuck it is. And then now they have ombre, and so it looks like they're still gonna have the woods in there. They're still gonna have that Madagascar vanilla, the Madagascar vetiver. That's all in the original ones. The Peru balsam came in the second one, and now you're having tobacco and leather, and a little bit more vetiver. It looks like there's two different types of vetiver, and some amber. And so just take what was a freaking amazing fragrance this year, take out the coffee, and replace it with leather, a little bit more vetiver, tobacco, and amber. It seems like it's just going to be a freaking great fragrance. If they do it correctly and they make that leather and tobacco pronounced, and then they just have this amber become the centerfold of the background nuance of the entire fragrance while still keeping that center point DNA of the Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme, I don't know how they could mess this up. I mean, I know how they could mess it up. I've seen designer fragrances do it, but if you're taking this DNA that's really on the rise, just like Boss, they have that DNA they found and they are running with it. They ran with it with the Elixir. They ran with it right after that with the Triumph Elixir. Then they came out with Absolute. They're just running with this new DNA and going away from their old DNA because it wasn't selling as well. Givenchy, they had their Gentleman line that wasn't selling very well. Well, then they got Society. It started selling real well because it was aiming at a more wider range of a crowd, from younger kids to even the older ones. And now you are adding in leather, vetiver, tobacco, amber to round out the line and really bring in your older audience. And so for people out there that are in this chat like me, where you're between the ages of 30 and 50, 30 and 60, it seems like this is going to be the one from the line that's going to be centered for you. because it's going to have those more grown up, nuanced notes from the leather, the vetiver, the tobacco, the amber. I think that this could be the release of the year really early, just like last year or the 2024, I guess, because it's not over yet. The first release of the year was Bosta Scent Elixir, and right now that's either number one or two. It's either that or the Givenchy, and so I'm thinking we're going to start out the year with a bang with this Givenchy Gentleman Society ombre. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm not going to dive too much further into that. If you know what Gentleman Society Extreme smells like, to me, they're going to take that DNA. They're going to have in kind of like encapsulate that DNA in amber and then just add in, at least I hope they do, a more prominent version of the leather and the tobacco, just compiling those two notes together to become the main centerfold part of the fragrance with that background DNA in amber. I'm hoping that's what it's going to be, but we will see. And sorry for blabbing on. I'm just really excited about that fragrance because of how much I like Society Extreme. So yeah, bro, Male Elixir Absolute is not going to be released to the public. That is only for Jean Paul Gaultier employees only. So there's not going to be a note breakdown because there's not going to be any sales for it. They're not allowed to sell it, and the employees are apparently, from what I'm hearing, the employees have to sign a agreement where they're not allowed to sell it, and if they do, they could be sued. From what I've heard, I mean, again, this is something that I heard from what was it, Twitter, X, and so you never know if it's right. But with that said, Male Elixir Absolute doesn't look like it's going to be something you're going to get your hands on. So they're not going to release a note breakdown for something that's supposed to be under wraps. The guy who released the information about it probably shouldn't have done that in the first place. I love the Elixir too. No, yeah, I like it too. It's just there's something about the Absolute, and that I really like the smell of it. It's just too strong for me. Kind of like how I love the smell of Sauvage Elixir. I just can't wear it. It's too strong. Way too strong. Strong with for Fragrance Fraternity. I'm going to be doing the same, Giancarlo. And speaking of Giancarlo, I'm going to get this one out of the way because it is a newer version of me and Giancarlo's baby, and that is Tom Ford's Soleil Neige. Tom Ford Soleil Neige. If you guys haven't tried it, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is a unisex, floral, creamy sandalwood fragrance. So you take this really nice, beautiful jasmine, similar to that. If you've tried Zaharoff, is it Bloom? Is that the name of it? I can't think of the name. Zaharoff Bloom or whatever. It came out last year. It smells very similar to that. It's just a little bit more creamy, but it's a more floral top where you have that jasmine. It's like a creamy jasmine. And then when you get to the dry down, that's when the floral part starts to wane out the window. And you get this almost like sunscreen-like, but I don't want to cheapen it by saying that. But it's a creamy, sweet vanilla sandalwood mixture. And if you haven't tried it, Soleil Neige is one that you need to try. And guess what? They have already, at least from my knowledge, it's just not in my stores yet, released Soleil Neige Parfum, which it has bergamot, carrot seed, jasmine, orange flower, Turkish rose, and honeyed woods. And it seems like, I looked over the note breakdown, it seems like the only thing they really changed in that was the Turkish rose and the honeyed woods. So I'm going to have to check it out and see how much different it is to the original Soleil Neige. But I'm telling you, if you tried this out and you liked it, I know Giancarlo did. That's why I kept his thing up there. It is my favorite Tom Ford nowadays, the one that's active, and my wife's favorite Tom Ford. This is one of the best unisex fragrances in existence. But you have to be okay with unisex fragrances, which I always have been. And, I mean, it got me to like floral fragrances. And it's not even a full floral because the opening's floral, but then it goes away. I have tried Bergamasque by Order Parisi. It's funny that you say it's really subtle skin scent because it was so strong on my skin. in the first like 20 minutes that I actually had to wash it off. I didn't like it at all. But I think I might have had, and I even told my moderators, I think that the decant that the guy sent me might have soured because it smelled like a soured bergamot. But I did try order Parisi bergamot. I hated it, but I think it was ruined. I don't know how it got ruined, but it definitely seemed like it got ruined. Um, I like Boss Bottled Elixir more than Absolute. Yeah, same here. I do. I mean, I like them both, but I prefer Elixir, and I feel like they're redundant to own both. So, yeah. Waiting for Azzaro wanted by late afternoon, wanted by morning, or most wanted by night. That's what they should have always done. Mix together wanted by night and most wanted, their two most popular fragrances, and call it most wanted by night. You have yourself like set up for a wedding fragrance and you don't do it. I don't get it. Just add some cinnamon, amberwood, and fruits to most wanted. You have most wanted by night. Um, I'm seriously not impressed so far. Oh, Francis, I thought you were saying fuck. FK, I was like, fuck is really fucking with Dior. No, Francis Kirkshaw is really fucking with Dior. Yes, I get it. You were confusing me, but it was pretty funny. Hello, what's up, everybody? What's going on, bro? Sense in the building. My scent of the day was Black Phantom by Killian. You're the second one wearing Black Phantom, and the third one that I've heard today. That was the one, Mike. It is the forward from Mind Games. Yes, that is the best one in my opinion. It smells like a niche version of City Rhythm Miami. It has that kind of almost like key lime pie smell, and I really like it. But I already have City Rhythm Miami, so I don't want to buy a bottle. Even though I will buy a bottle probably at some point in time, it's just Mind Games are so freaking expensive. It's almost like Louis Vuitton, where you really can't find them much cheaper, and so you might get 25% off, but even then you're still paying $300. So unless I find a really good deal, I'd have to really love the fragrance for that. With that said, First Defense overrated. I'm with you, Randy. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it smells nice. I just don't find it to be the hype monster that a lot of people make it out to be. But I mean, to each his own. Whatever. I recommend Montal Infinity. That one's really good. Cherry Plum, Amber Tobacco. I agree with you. Montal Infinity is better than French Defense. I totally agree with you. It's really, really good. I don't own it, but I do have like a 20 milliliter decant of it, which I swear I say about everything. I have like 450 fragrances behind me, and everything that people talk about, I'm like, yeah, I got a decant of that. How about this? My nephew, I gave him 3 bottles of fragrance this year, just for the hell of it. One for winning a baseball game, one just because, and then one for his birthday. And then I gave him a football card collection for Christmas, and then right after Christmas, he was like, it's like he knew what he was doing. He was like, so my friends know about this Jean Paul Gaultier. What do you think about it? Do you have that? What about Polo 60? I was like, here, man. I sent him my Polo 67. I sent him Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. I sent him Polo Red Intense. I sent him like 4 other full bottle fragrances. I was like, there you go. So he's a lucky 12-year-old. Even though Bleu de Chanel, I told him Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum should not be worn by you. Give it to your dad. French Defense, overrated. Oh, I already read that. Hate me if you wish, but I'm getting sick of flankers. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm doing a video this week or next week, what I'm expecting here in 2025 and what's probably going to happen in 2025. And one of my biggest thing is that they need to stop it with the flankers. Like Ross was just doing one for the CK1 Parfum Intense that just kind of smells like stop doing flankers. Come up with something unique. Start a new line. When was the last time we got a new line? Coach Open Road. And then what do they do with that? I thought the next year we were going to get another Coach Open Road because that came out and it has promise. But then we got nothing. And now we're going to go, 2-3 years, and then Coach will finally come out. But where's the new Versace? Where's the new Chanel? Where is all of that? Well, it's like they're getting lazy. Back in the day, I can remember You had Aqua de Joe coming out, and then the next day they had Code. It was like 3 months later or 4 months later, it was like, oh, here, we're going to release Code. And then a year and a half later, Armani Mania. You had 3 new full lines, and it was like a 2-year period. It's like, when are we going to get back to that to make it more interesting for us in the fragrance community? That's why, and I can understand why a lot of people getting into clones, because there's so much turnover in the, or so little turnover in the designer market, that they're just doing the same thing over and over and over because people are buying it. And it's like, they don't care about the 2% that are in the fragrance community. They don't give a crap about us. I mean, Burberry and Ralph Lauren do, but yeah. Selly, honestly, if I stocked my entire collection of clothing with Lacoste, I wouldn't care. Like, I'll be a big freaking ad for Lacoste, because I have worn Armani Exchange, I've worn Chanel, I've worn Givenchy. Lacoste is like 1/5 of the price of all of those, and honestly, it's more comfortable. And so, if you guys want to go out and try a really comfortable article of clothing that is under $100, just buy a Lacoste sweater or a Lacoste hoodie. I am telling you, they are more comfortable than a $500 Givenchy sweater, which I bought, which I returned because it wasn't even, it was like scratchy on my skin. I was like, dude, this, I feel so comfortable wearing this thing right now. It's the most comfortable, it's more comfortable than any of my Nike hoodies, any of my Adidas hoodies. And it was like $70 for my wife to buy. All of my big logo sweaters, those things are like $65 on the Lacoste website. And I'm telling you, they are the most comfortable things in the world. So yes, I will continue to wear Lacoste, and Sally, you should as well, because they are really, really comfortable. And that's why I also just bought Boss, the Pittsburgh Steelers Boss, because Boss, I have another article of clothing from Boss, and it's really comfortable as well. PDM Imperious was a TikTok hoax. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. PDM Imperious, it's like Imperious Curse Harry Potter. I should have known that when I first read it, but I like didn't click with me originally. But it's like Imperious. Why would they name it after a Harry Potter curse? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I remember when I posted that, and then I deleted it like 3 minutes later because I realized it was a Harry Potter curse. Um, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Selly. Everybody's loving Selly. What's everyone's favorite Christmas pickup? I got my wife actually told me right before my live, you're gonna go on there and they're gonna be like, why didn't your wife get you any fragrances for Christmas? And I said, I'm gonna tell them I asked for no fragrances for Christmas. Well, I'm a fragrance reviewer, but there was nothing this year that interested me to the point where I was like, hey, I didn't buy this year, so hey, why don't you buy me something for Christmas? I wanted things that are gonna last. And right now this year, there was nothing that I thought to myself, ooh, and I'm not gonna have my wife buy me a niche fragrance that's $300. I'm not gonna have her do that. I like to keep my gifts from her inexpensive, and so I keep it to designer, like 150 or less. And so I told her, I said, don't buy me fragrances. If you're gonna buy me a fragrance, wait until February, our anniversary and Valentine's Day, and then if there's any new releases that I want you to buy, you can buy me the new releases. And that's the way that I'm doing it. So yeah, I got no pickups, Sandy, at all as far as fragrances. I got a lot of comfortable clothing. I got, where are they? They're on my feet. I got these slippers that you can walk outside because I walk my dog all the time. And then I got a portable charger that I use all the time, but my portable charger was dying. My wife got me one that can charge your phone 6 times before it dies. Takes a while to charge itself, but it charges my phone from 0 to 100 in 1 hour, and it can do that 6 times. So I had her get me that, and she got me something else. I can't remember what else, but yeah. What's up, Tony? Happy holidays to you. Wishing you the best to you and your family. Greetings from San Francisco. Well, greetings from Pittsburgh. That's where I'm at right now, and happy holidays to you as well. Hopefully you have a great new year. La, 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 la. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the chat so we can get to the next one. French Defense equals Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber. Nyeh. Dan, not the man. I see what you're saying, but French Defense is a little bit lighter. Dark Cherry and Amber, it reminds me if you took French Defense and mixed it together with Baccarat Rouge, because it has that kind of like thickness and sweetness of the ambery cotton candy vibe that you get from Baccarat Rouge. So yes, I see what you're saying, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that because Dark Cherry and Amber, maybe the first like 3 minutes, I would possibly agree. Jonathan Madsen, best winter fragrance. Is this the one you're talking about? Filet and Aguillas? I can't pronounce that. I just butchered it, I bet. I asked before, but ask again. Does anyone have a Mouage Purpose? I've tried it. I just want to know people's opinions before I receive it. I'm not the one to answer, so I'm not even going to answer you because I don't like a Mouage. I've never. A Mouage is just most of the fragrances smell like a church. A Mouage Reflection Man is the one that I'm okay with, but for the most part, I'm not a big fan of a Mouage. I like Beach Hut too, but yeah, Mouage Purpose I didn't, but that has to do with my dislike for a Mouage. If it doesn't break, there we go. Randy Society Extreme in my top 3 designer releases of 2024. It's in my top 2, so I don't even know if it's top 1 or 2, but I probably, yeah, that's probably a video I should record tomorrow. So you probably, I don't have any videos recorded right now, so I'll probably record my top 5 fragrances of 2025 or 2024 for tomorrow's video. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you, Sandy. You reminded me that I had to do that video. What? Le Male Absolute? It's like Dior made a special. Yeah, that Le Male Absolute whatever video that people have been talking about. Yeah, don't worry about that fragrance. You're never going to see it. It's never going to be released to the public. And if it is, it's not going to be now. That was a special edition that they made for their employees only. And my guess is it's just Scandal Absolute rebottled into a Le Male with the Le Male DNA. Speaking of Scandal Absolute, let's get the next one out of the way. Lattafa Assad Bourbon. So I was going to pick it up because I thought it was going to be something unique, but apparently it's just a clone of Scandal Absolute meets Most Wanted. I'll still pick it up because I like both of those fragrances, but it's a clone. And it's a clone of those two, released at the prompt time, but at the exact time that it's being released, I mean, I'm hearing that all of the other fragrances are better, and they're cloning designer fragrances that are like $20 more expensive. Like, I could get Scandal Absolute on Sabina or News Parfums for the exact same price that Lattafa Assad Bourbon is going for right now. So what the fuck? Why would I go pick up a clone of Scandal Absolute or smells like Scandal Absolute or Most Wanted? Why would I go and pick up a fragrance that is supposedly cloning something that I could get for almost the exact same price? It just doesn't make any sense. And this is where it's starting to get ridiculous. That they're cloning these fragrances and people are just like, yeah, I'll go out and pay $50 for this Lattafa Assad clone, but it's cloning a fragrance you can get for $60. So why not just get the better version with the nicer bottle and the nicer atomizer? I don't get it. But that's the most I'm going to be talking about that one. So Gordon S., it depends on who you talk to. If you're in the United States and you're talking to 99.9% of the country, no. Dior Homme Parfum in the United States is not going to be compliment getting. Dior Homme Parfum is Dior Homme Intense's bigger brother. It's almost like it has more of that lipstick iris from the Dior Homme Intense. It has less of the sweetness, and then you add in the rose. So it's while they do share the same DNA, it does do something different. But I'm going to say, if you don't like Dior Homme Intense, the chances are you're not going to like Dior Homme Parfum. And it's not compliment getting. And so if you're looking for a compliment getting fragrance, I've never heard someone say, on a top 10 compliment getting fragrances to your own parfum. That's just not what that fragrance is built for. That fragrance is built for the European market. With that said, it's also built for the people in the fragrance community who find all designers just crap. Then those are the people that are going to say Dior and Parfum is the best. Is because it's unique. It's a situational fragrance. It's more of a personal enjoyment sense. So no, to answer your question, just it's flat out not a compliment getting fragrance. It depends on where you live. If you're in Europe, maybe, but still, even then, that's still a personal enjoyment scent. But in the United States, that is 100% no. How far back am I? Goodness gracious. Soleil Neige? Talked about that 20 minutes ago. All right, so I am going to read through. I didn't like Bergamask either, Rainy. Sounds sour about right. Okay, so it was right. Shit. Well, I guess then I'm not going to try it again. I was planning on trying it again. Anyone here tries Suspiro no. I couldn't. Prima Donna. No, I have never actually seen that name. I've seen Suspiro Basso, Suspiro Vibrato. I've tried those, but I've never heard of Prima Donna. Uh, dude, I read Sandy's comment the same way. See, I'm so far fucking behind. People are gonna be like, if you just coming in now, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna try to. Sorry if I skip anybody's comments. I mean, today is comment central. Ross was not lying. And I'm happy about that. I mean, you guys keep it going, keep it flowing. um, you always put FF. I think you're talking to me because I see the F at the beginning, but it's Fragrance Fraternity. I think with mind games, you're paying for the presentation. See, Selly, I do agree and I understand that. I'm not a presentation guy though. Like, if I want presentation, I'd go with Zaharoff. They have really good presentation, but mind games, I couldn't give two shit about the presentation for it. It'll just sit on my shelf somewhere. I mean, it's not like I'm doing this. Like, if I wanted the presentation, I would get my phone closer, and I would have it more not on an angle. I don't really care about presentation. I mean, it's cool. It's cool, like for the first look, but after that opening, like wow factor, I don't really care about it. I love Louis Vuitton's Afternoon Swim Pacific Chill, but I don't have the budget. Any recommendations? Yeah, Gordon, if you like Pacific Chill, you need to get. Oh, fuck. I knew it was there. I couldn't see it, but I knew it was there. Luciano Coastal Breeze. It is a clone of it, and I usually don't like to apply clones and give people that option, but in this situation, I mean, it's Louis Vuitton. It's the type of situation that I like to buy clones for. I own Pacific Chill, but Coastal Breeze by Luciano, 30, 40 bucks. Smells about 90% similar, so it's almost exact. And the quality is slightly different, but with that said, you're not going to know a difference as soon as you get it in. If you like Pacific Chill, this is a very, very, very good alternative. They also have Sunset Swim, which is another clone of Afternoon Swim, which does the same thing, same exact closeness. So if you're looking for a good clone, just they have the same bottle, so it'll still look good in your collection. They have nice atomizers, not as good as the Louis, but doesn't really matter. But get Luciano Coastal Breeze and Luciano Sunset Swim. Save yourself the 600 bucks on the two and buy those. Good possibility of snow next week, dude. Includes Pittsburgh and Philly. Yeah, I saw that. And the wind last night was nuts. I woke up this morning. My dog was laying underneath the bed. There was my back porch. The pillows were upside down. The coffee table was upside down. It was horrible wind because there's some storms brewing. Yeah, Vibrato's really good. But Vibrato was my favorite of the ginger fragrances until I started wearing Ingenious Ginger more. You actually got me to love whenever I had that live stream with you, Mike, and I was talking about the Ingenious Ginger. I was I was like, I like Vibrato better, but Ingenious Ginger is great, and a lot of people like Ingenious Ginger for the warm weather. I actually like it for the cool weather because it has that amber and vanilla. Well, you can wear it all the time. It doesn't really matter. Ingenious Ginger, it's like that live stream with you, it clicked. And I was like, I think I like Ingenious Ginger better too. Um, with that said, oh, whoop, I just skipped a bunch. I forget Randy hates felt bottle. Yeah. The Suspiro, I have to pick it up from the cap every time. And then I go like this. And I grab my hoodie, or if I have a short sleeve shirt on, I grab a towel, like a towel that I have hanging on my door, and I open it up and I go, I got it in my mouth. But I hate felt bottles. I always hated it. And you would think I wouldn't be that way because I grew up with a pool table, and you would think that I wasn't that way, but yeah, I hate felt. Can't lie, their bottles are elite quality and they feel amazing in the hand. They do. They're heavy and they have that kind of like oomph. Yeah, I know what you mean. They look real and pretty from the outside too. Okay, so I'm catching up because I see Mo, or unless Mo was answering a lot earlier. What's up, Clara? Ross called you Clara earlier. I was like, well, let's welcome Clara to the chat. What's going on, Kara? I love French Defense. Haven't smelled a cherry fragrance like it. I got a decan of Infinity on the way, though. See, French Defense would work for you, though. And that's why I said it was like, to me, it comes off a little bit feminine. Well, it's a really nice fragrance, and I would definitely wear it. I'm not going to go out and pay the $300 for the bottle. It's because, as far as cherry fragrances go, yeah, I don't like when they lean a little bit feminine for cherry. That's why I like Lost Cherry. I like the smell of it. I'm not going to buy it. Electric Cherry, same way. But with Cherry Smoke, or that, I can't remember the name, but it's also sold at Sephora, the pistachio one. Like, they have a little bit of a masculine touch to it. And so that's why I go with those ones. But with that said, a French Defense isn't bad. I mean, it's still a nice fragrance. It's just I don't get the huge hype on it. Burberry shirts, it's Reduc. What? Burberry shirts, it's Reduc. Ridiculous? I'm guessing 'cause they look ridiculous. If you're talking about the ones that look like a Burberry London bottle, but Burberry shirts, I have felt them before, and they feel like scratchy. That's what I was trying to say. Unless you're talking about the really comfortable Burberry ones, I've also tried one of those, and they're really comfortable as well. But again, if anybody's coming into the live stream right now, they probably have no idea what I'm talking about. I can't get that taste out of my mouth. It's making me want to burp right now. If you guys if you're just joining, you probably think I'm going nuts because I'm burping on the stream. I just sprayed a fragrance into my mouth, and it's making me have this like almost like heartburn. I was trying to take a sip of this, but it's giving me heartburn. All right. Valentino Pink Edition. Shinobi, so no, not Pink Edition. So I'll tell you guys again for anybody who wasn't here previously. The fragrances that are coming out that you might not know about, they don't have names to them yet outside of the Polo 67 EDP and Paco Rabanne's Phantom Elixir. There are also 3 new Mind Games fragrances that are coming out. There is an all-pink bottle Valentino and an all-gold bottle Azzaro. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they are. I'm just telling you that's the information that we have got from Dillard's. That they will be getting in this month into the next month. I got that information from a little birdie named Jeff. Is Selly leaving? I don't know. I have so much Lacoste it doesn't make sense. It's definitely comfortable. Yeah, it's so comfortable. I get mine straight from the Lacoste website, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 9 articles of Lacoste clothing, and as of 4 months ago, I had 0. So you can just say I love Lacoste. They won't use strawberry or raspberry in it. I'm trying to skip to the bottom, so I'm just going to get to the next one. The next one is Kenzo Homme Indigo. It is an all blue bottle. I don't want to knock anything over and hit myself in the head again. All right. So my favorite from the Kenzo line is Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. Um, it really smells like a dark blue beachy fragrance. It's very interesting and it's a very unique fragrance that a lot of people don't like, but a lot of people love. I'm on the love side. Um, I actually found this when I was in the Dominican Republic because it was really hard to find last year, and I found it when I was on a cruise. With that said, they are now releasing one. Last year's one was sucked. Kenzo Homme Santal or whatever it was. That sucked. The one before that was decent. Kenzo Homme Marine. It was just musky marine fragrance. Very easy wear. But Kenzo Homme Indigo, it is perfumed by Quentin Bish. That's what he does a lot of the Kenzos. It's an amber woody aquatic, and they give you the top note is marine accord, mid note is iris, and the base notes are leather, akigala wood, and sandalwood. It looks like we're getting back, and that was the reason I... Fuck! Don't pick this up from the cap. Anyway, it kind of seems like we're getting a little bit closer to this one because it has the darker wood with the akigala wood. It still has the marine accords. It still has the leather. That is where you get into this one. But then you're adding in the iris and sandalwood to add a bit of a creamy facet, as well as, depending on the style of iris, maybe a little bit of an earthy, powdery touch, a little bit of a floral touch. I think that this has the makings of what could be the best Kenzo. And that Kenzo is a very unique line outside of like the marine. The DNA is a designer DNA that you don't see very often, which is why it's not sold in stores in the United States. With that said, I mean, at least in my area, it's not. But being perfumed by Quentin Bish, Kenzo Homme Indigo with the still that same marine aquatic background, and then you're adding the amber woody portion of it mixed together with a little bit of this, some of that dark leather that you get from this one. I don't see it being a bad fragrance. I see it again, just like the Givenchy Gentleman Ombre that's coming out. I think that it's going to be one of the better fragrances of the year. And I think it's going to be one of those fragrances that at first people write off as just like a basic fragrance or one that they're not sure on. But then in a year or two, just like this one, they're going to start coming back and saying, that's the best one in the line. This one has the makings of that. I can't tell. I'm not some kind of magician where I'm like, yeah, there's going to be like 10% iris. There's going to be this amount of this. Oh, there's also going to be some apple in there. Like, I have no idea what else is going to be in there. But based on the note breakdown, it looks like they just took the Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum and then they added a little bit of a creamy sandalwood and some iris, which I think is just going to make it give it a little bit more of a masculine floral touch from the iris, a little bit more of a powdery tone, and some of that sandalwood to kind of balance out the depth. And I'm hoping that's the case. We will see how it rocks. You never know with this DNA. It could go one way or the other, but for most part, the DNA is pretty solid across the board. Not for everybody, but with that said, Kenzo Homme Indigo looks like it could be something that's really good. Just like last year, I'll pick it up as soon as it comes out. It'll come up on a European website, and I'll pick it up because that's usually where they release it first. Going into the last few, and then we'll end the live stream. There is a new it's a trio that's coming out in the Boss private collection. It's called Boss the Collection. If you haven't seen them, they've been released for the last like 5-6 years. This one, there's 3 of them. 2 of them, I'm like, whatever. There's not really any information about it. Really, there's no information about any of them outside of 2 notes. There's one called Wild Violet, and it's violet and leather are the main notes for the fragrance. There's Fearless Pepper, which is pepper and marine accord. And then the one that I'm actually really excited about, because I know the way that Boss can do vanilla, is Exhilarating Vanilla. It's an amber woody fragrance with notes of vanilla and woods. It sounds basic, but I like basic vanilla fragrances, and I like the way that Boss rocks with vanilla. They don't aim towards the powdery vanilla. They go more through that balsamic, creamy vanilla, and I really like that, almost like vanilla bean. And so I really enjoy that style of vanilla that Boss brings. And if you mix that together with, let's say, a Palo Santo, a Gaiac wood, or even a sandalwood per se, because they've always been known to use sandalwood, then I think that could be a really nice simplistic fragrance that a lot of people are just going to write off and or not even try. But I'm definitely going to be trying out the exhilarating vanilla. But as far as new releases, again, that's it. Again, I wrote it all down just so I didn't have to go to all the websites. But we have Phantom Elixir, we have the all gold bottle of Azzaro, all pink Valentino, 3 new Mind Games, Ralph Lauren Polo 67 EDP, Dior Homme 2025. On the 1st, it's going to be released worldwide. Gentlemen's Society released in stores. I mean, that's when the stores are going to be getting it on 1st. So if you want to test it, you'll be able to test it. Gentlemen's Society Ombre will be released in the first 2 months of the year. Kenzo Homme Indigo probably will be released in a month or so, usually online. Boss the Collection, all of those. I don't know when they're going to be released. And Soleil Neige Parfum is already released in stores by Tom Ford. So yeah, those are some of the new fragrances that are coming out. I hope that you guys really watch my channel because I'm going to be getting some of them. I'm going to finally be picking up some fragrances. The last time I picked up a fragrance was September. And that, how crazy is that? That I got away with not buying a fragrance since September. And I still have a channel somehow. I don't understand how that happens. But I decided that in September, and I told my moderators that I was going to stop buying for a while. I said, it's been a bad year. There hasn't been very many fragrances coming out. I had a lot of pricey things at home, from an air conditioner to a furnace and a water heater, that all broke in the same time. So I decided to take a break for the rest of 2024. Now I am going to be picking up a lot of fragrances, it seems. My wallet is going to be hurting just like every year in January, but whatever. It's all for you guys, and obviously for the love of the fragrance game. Double Attack to me smells like chocolate water runs away. Very interesting description. I heard very mixed reviews on Panache. Everyone says Luciano is better. I haven't heard. I've heard some things about Panache. I obviously like Luciano better because I'm telling you about them, but I haven't tried the Panache. I have heard the same thing as you, mixed reviews, but the Luciano is definitely good. So I mean, honestly, if I was somebody who's looking for a clone, like if I was you guys and I don't have a review channel, stuff like that, and I was going to try to find, I didn't want to buy the Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. I wanted to find something similar because I didn't want to pay $300 and some dollars. If this was the first purchase I made, I wouldn't try again because it smells so close to it. There's no reason to try. And there's no reason, like, it's not as good as the original Pacific Chill, but it's close. And it's close enough that it does not warrant another $300 purchase or to try to go find another clone. As soon as you smell that, you're like, okay, I'm good with that. That's Sally. I like Amouage Beach Hut, and I like Amouage Reflection. But the other ones I tried smell like a church. I can't get it out of my head. Every time I smell it, it just smells like I think it's just the Amouage DNA they use, that incense. I can't do it. It smells like a church to me. And that's why I like Reflection, and that's why I like Beach Hut, because they don't use that. They go away from the DNA the most in those two, at least in my opinion. I tried about 15 Amouage, and the other 13 I didn't like. I mean, there was a few I didn't hate, but nothing that was like, wow. Like a spark joy, nothing. In 2025, all niche fragrances over 250 Canadian. I'll only buy 5, 8, 10 milliliters, whichever small decants are available. Yeah, see, I've been getting a lot of decants, but honestly, I've been getting them for free. So I have a few decant sites that just at the perfect time, they just reached out to me and said, hey, can I send you some stuff? Hey, you pick it. I'm like, okay. So it just worked out. I also heard from gents that Dior is making another elixir. Maybe Dior Homme Elixir or Fahrenheit Elixir. Maybe. I haven't heard anything about that. Maybe they are. All I know is that Francis Kirkjohn is just, why did he leave MFK? I don't understand why he left MFK, or not left MFK, but like is primarily focusing on Dior, because I would have thought that he would come there and come up with something new. Like, hey, we brought in what supposedly is one of the best niche perfumers in the world, and we're just going to have him continue and do a flanker of a flanker, or a new edition, 2025 edition of a fragrance we've had out forever. Like, why not come out with like Dior presents with, in collaboration with Mason, or with Francis Kirkjohn, this line, and then do a lineup of Dior fragrances with Francis Kirkjohn. Like, let him start from scratch. Don't give him an ingredient list and say, hey, play around with that. And that's what he's doing. He's playing around with some ingredients that they already have a set manuscript for. And it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It really, I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't speak. Anyway, I almost put you in timeout, Sandy, by accident. I picked up several 5 milliliter, 10 milliliter decants in the past month. I'm trying to stop myself from overspending. Seems like that's the way it is for a lot of people. Best presentation in the game is still Argos for me. I'd love to do a Zaharoff too. It's funny you say that about the Argos, but honestly, my first Argos bottle, the cap was broke. So, I mean, they are really nice bottles, but my cap was broke. So I was 0 for 1 with that. But they are very nice bottles if they came in one piece. Or I guess you should say 2 pieces. Just about at the bottom. Yeah, some guy called me Clara in the comments. And Ross read it. Oh, is that what it was? I didn't know. I thought he was calling you Clara on accident. So I was like, everybody welcome Clara to the chat. Dude went all for Champion Fragrance and his most... How far fucking behind am I? Orange, scent of the day is Initio side effect. Sorry if I'm skipping your stuff. Okay. Been meaning to ask the chat about this one. What's everyone's opinion on hibiscus? Jonathan Madsen, you're asking a question about a fragrance that I haven't even heard of before. Like, I don't know who makes that. I haven't heard that name before, so I don't know how many people in this chat have actually heard of that. I'd be interested. Everybody, please let me know. Have you heard of it? And if you have heard of it, have you tried it? Hibiscus Mahajad. I've never even heard of it. To finish it up, bottles on Randy's head again. Yeah, I almost knocked it over on my head. I'm all over the place, man. It doesn't help that I had a little bit earlier. I'm trying to click on Newt's comment, but it won't let me. Randy, I'm hearing rumors that Killing Angel Share Paradise is now February launch. Have you heard anything? I've been trying to hear everything. Apparently, iFragrance. So iFragrance is the one who sent me the Killing Angel Share Paradise information, and he sent it to me at the beginning of this year. I keep saying last year, but 2024. It was February 2024, and he said, Killing Angel Share Paradise will be out in a few months. And that was the last thing I heard. So I've been trying to figure it out, but I mean, we are now at the end of 2024 and nothing. What do you think of Roja Scandal Parfum Cologne? I think it's nice. It's not one of my favorite Rojas, but I mean, it's definitely in line with what they have going on in that. It's not memorable for me. Like, I really liked Roja Vetiver, the Parfum Cologne. I like Elysium Parfum Cologne. That's one of the easiest wears from the line. Enigma, not my favorite, but I know a lot of people like that. It's just a little bit too powdery on my end. But Scandal was nice. It was forgettable. I know some people do like that. I do prefer the Parfum better. But with that said, it wasn't anything that, like, I'm sitting here thinking, what is that fragrance about? I remember thinking it was good, but I won't buy a bottle of it. So that's really the only information I can give you. I can't remember what it smells like. I just remember thinking to myself, because I did a whole, when I first started my channel, I think it was like 8 months in, I went through all of the Rojas, all the Parfum colognes, and I was telling you guys which one I was going to buy a bottle of, and I bought a few, and my favorite was Elysium from all of them, from the Parfum colognes. And then I couldn't remember Scandal. I just remember it being okay. I don't know. I need to look it up now. You're getting me confused. Scandal Parfum Cologne. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure I said it smelled. Yeah, that's what I said. All right. So I had to look up what it was compared to. And I remember saying it was a good fragrance, but it's not my style because it's one of those old masculine barbershop fougères that is more of the old vintagey style fragrances. I had to look up what it was compared to, and it's compared to Eau Sauvage, and I don't like Eau Sauvage. So if that's a style of fragrance that you do like, then sweet. But that I remember saying that of those style of fragrances, it was good. It's just again, I wouldn't be able to just go off and tell you, hey, this is what Scandal smells like. It's been so long. I just remember not enjoying it that much, just thinking it was okay. Yeah, I get your frustration. Also, I think he sold MFK to. I think you're right. I don't pay attention to that stuff. Like sometimes people will message me and say, "Hey, did you hear that Cody was sold to this?" No, I don't pay attention to that stuff. I smell fragrances. I don't look like and see like I know a lot of reviewers would be like, "This was perfumed," in every one of their videos. This was perfumed by this person. If you know this person, they were back in 1968. I don't know any of that information. No, I don't care to know any of that information. To be honest with you. Also, the new Azzaro fragrance is called Forever Wanted Elixir. Photos of the bottle and title are leaked online. I've seen them. Yeah, I just Shinobi. Somebody said that already, and if it's called Forever Wanted Elixir, that's great. It's just people said that was on TikTok, and last year it was known. At the end of December, TikTok was releasing all of the information that they had and making up names for fragrances, and all of the names were wrong. And so I'm not going to, even with pictures, they had pictures too. And so pictures, they had pictures of Parfums de Marly Imperious, where it said Imperious. It was a different color bottle. It looked real, but it was fake. So I don't know if that's going to be a correct name. It probably is. It's just I hate that name though. Forever Wanted Elixir is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Hmm. All right. Blue de Chanel Elixir would be awesome. I don't really care for Blue de Chanel Elixir. Um, Honestly, to me, Blue de Chanel, the original, the Eau de Toilette, is just a fresh version of that DNA, more citrusy. Then you have the Parfum, which is kind of like a deeper, warmer, night out version of that DNA. Then you have the Eau de Parfum, which is just like a mix of the two. I don't really know what more you can do with that. I mean, unless you make it more warmer, deeper, stronger, add a little bit of this. Like, they should just start a new line. Like, they don't need a Blue de Chanel elixir. Like, to me, it's just gonna smell like Blue de Chanel again. Like, all the Blue de Chanels smell like Blue de Chanel. Just like most of the Ys smell like YSLY. Yes, they have nuanced differences, and Y is better at doing that, in my opinion. But like, if you look at the differences between Bleu de Chanel Parfum and Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, they're not that drastic. And so I just don't see a need for an elixir. I think that they should move on to a new line. In my, yeah, PDM Crucio. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Rouge de Chanel. I mean, Red de Chanel. I remember I said that last year in my things I want in 2024. Um, it was I want Rouge de Chanel. And I want Spice Bomb Sapphire. But no, they didn't bring any of those. Rouge de Chanel, I mean, they already have Bleu de Chanel, which is blue Chanel. Why not red Chanel? Rouge. I didn't know that rouge meant red. Like a Baccarat Rouge, I never paid attention to that. That meant red until like 6 months ago. Yeah, they could go through all the colors: Rouge de Chanel, Red de Chanel, Blue de Chanel, Green de Chanel, just like Polo Red does, and nobody would bat a fucking eye because Polo went from Polo Blue, Polo Green, Polo Red, and people buy them. So make Red de Chanel, Rouge de Chanel. Just do your freaking language difference. And no one's gonna care. Just do it. Actually, Forever Wanted Elixir is mentioned on the board behind the bottle of the shop where the picture is taken. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that's correct. All I know is that TikTok was wrong all of last year when it came to new releases and trying to make up things that they weren't credible a credible place. So with that said, you're probably right because you're the second person to tell me. So Forever Wanted Elixir is probably the name, which is stupid. It should be Most Wanted by Night. To be honest with you, that would be the best. But still, even that's stupid. Like I said, they should do like Most Wanted Leather and just actually just put some leather in it, or Most Wanted Cherry and put some cherry in it. I mean, whatever. I'm more interested in a green Chanel more than a red Chanel. Whatever. A green Chanel would be cool, but like, I mean, doesn't need to be like a green fragrance. I mean, I guess that would be Chanel's way to do it, though. Yeah, Vert de Chanel. Yeah, so we have Rouge de Chanel, Vert de Chanel. There we go. That's the way to do it. I'm bullshitting too much. I gotta go. It's 127. It's an hour and 27. I just said it's 127 into the into the live stream. It's an hour and 27 minutes into the live stream. I told my wife I'd be on here for an hour. So, yeah, I gotta go because I just gotta go. I gotta work tomorrow. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic holiday. I will be live again next Monday. I'll be doing a few videos this week. I will be getting back into it full steam ahead once all these releases come out. But Happy New Year's to all of you. I see in the chat we got Sandy, Newt, Mo, Shinobi, Joel. Let me just see what else is going on here. Jonathan, Blaine, Patrick, Antonio, Chris. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully that you guys are doing great. Joel, remind me at some point in time to give you that wrench. Not tonight. Like next live stream that Ross has or something. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys for everything that you've done here in 2024. And here's to 2025. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember to hit that like on the way out and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in 2025. Peace.